But bringing it back, so Jensen, how will Dean and Sam react to this Jack character?
Differently.
Dude.
Cool.
I told you they were going to make this hard.
I didn't.
I begged you not to ask them questions.
Go to your notes. Go to your notes.
There's been a lot of build-up for this. I mean, the whole season's been dealing with Kelly Klein and
it's obviously the mom being gone and Cass and all of this kind of turmoil that the brothers find themselves in. Now they have this person, this thing, this entity, and in Dean's mind, just simply has to go. But because technically it's half human, the ever optimistic Sam Winchester
Did you say
thinks. What's that?
half female?
Half human.
Half human, got it. There's a weird, I'm in a weird echo spot, so I'm catching.
It's a vortex. So they're
half female?
We have two different ideas of how to handle the situation.
By the way,
Does Jared know we're doing a panel?
I don't think so.
Say it again.
Do you
Somebody
know that we're
wake
doing
up
a panel
Padalecki.
for Comic-Con right now? Okay. Anyway,
but
I
yeah,
tried.
Yeah, but that character could go either way. It could be evil, could be.
Have Sam and Dean encountered somebody with these sort of characteristics before? The sort of the half Lucifer, half human. Have they wrestled this moral dilemma previously?
To this degree, it's kind of difficult, right? I'm trying to think of the last time.
Well, no, this is the spawn of the devil, so.
Right. Yeah.
Which I don't know why anyone would want to see how that works out. You know what? Let's see how this plays out. What could possibly go wrong?
It's a.
Dean's a little more practical. I have an idea. Let's shoot it in the face.
And Sam's a bit like, that might just piss it off. I think.
Well, at least we'll know.
That's true. That's true. I think Sam. Kudos to Bob and Andrew and the rest of our writers. It's a neat. We've danced around this a couple times, but not to this degree. The whole nature versus nurture argument, and so it is. Jack certainly is half Lucifer, but he's also half Kelly Klein, right? And Kelly Klein was a good person, and so Sam, ever the optimist, is trying to figure out what to do. And Dean, being Dean, shoot first, ask questions later, has his idea.
Right.
Some things never change.
And Andrew, is that a journey that Jack himself will go on in his sort of development and trying to figure out which side he's on?
Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of the character, obviously, as Jared Jensen talked about, they've got strong opinions. I think from Jared's point of view, especially from Sam's point of view, Sam was a character who was, as we remember from way, way back, destined to do very bad things. And
Whoa.
Yeah, and still may. A lot of years left. But he's some or not. I don't really know. But the idea that I think Sam can kind of put himself in those shoes a little bit better, and then for Jack himself, he's someone who I think is struggling with that and will continue to struggle with that in our version of Hell's My Two Dads.
And then Misha, so you've been doing a lot of gardening, or?
Yeah, so you can you can't plant tomatoes until July, so that's what I'm getting into now.
Cool.
That's great.
Great.
Anywho.
Thanks, buddy. And so mom is trapped in this other dimension, this other world.
Right. And so much, Robbie, of this season. So much of this season, there was the Mary character, wonderfully played by Samantha Smith. You guys had serviced that story really well, and the way Sam reacted to Mary, and the way Dean was reacting to Mary, and how you guys were coping with her return, dealing with the British men and letters. Now that she's had this experience and is now, made this move to try to do the right thing, and now finds herself on the other side of this wall, in this hole. How do Sam and Dean differ in their approach to how to handle that situation?
Dean thinks she's gone, that she went through the rift. It's a rift, Rich, not a hole.
Oh.
I was just making sure you read the notes.
Okay. She went through the rift, the hole, with Lucifer, and the whole rift closed. And Dean is pretty sure that that's curtains for Mom, and while he's bereft over that, he's ready to accept that. Sam thinks, no, she went through alive. We've been on the other side of this rift. He's holding on to the fact that she could still be alive, and it's a bit of a it's a problem between the guys because Sam's mission in the beginning part of season 13 is let's find Mom, and Dean's idea is we have bigger fish to fry. Mom's dead. You're just going to have to come to that realization. Spoiler alert: Mom is not dead.
I told you.
Great.
I told you.
Come with me.
Dean's kind of a Debbie Downer at the beginning of the season. Deanie Downer.
Wah, wah.
Downer. Wah, wah, wah. Let's kill Jack. Mom is dead. Everybody's dead. Yeah, good. I didn't know Mom wasn't dead. I like that.
Read the scripts.
He hasn't read a script since season 7.
That's what we're on, right? Is season 7?
And so in the Mary storyline, by the way, Mary, who is with Lucifer in this, on the other side of the rift, she's got her own journey. She's got her own challenges to face now. And Andrew, how do we see that playing out for her?
Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of Mary, obviously she came back with a very, at first very kind of spun out. She didn't ask to come back. She was brought back. She was sent back. It took her a while to find her footing, I think, with the world at large and more specifically with her sons. And by the end of the season, I think everyone was in a very good place. She's been lost. Over on the other side, here she's got someone who, as far as Mary's concerned, she made this sacrifice knowingly. She went through that rift knowingly. Like, I don't know that she is necessarily, that's something she's kind of, I think, comes to terms with. That doesn't mean she's not active. That doesn't mean she doesn't want to make this world a better place, because the world she's gone into is far worse than the world in which our guys live day to day. And then I also think, one of the interesting things about Jack is that, as we know, the only person that's ever opened a rift to this world is Jack. So if Jack is the key to getting back, one, how do you convince him to do that? Can you convince him to do that? And do you want him to do that? Because you're just opening a hole to a world which has been ravaged by the apocalypse. You hope that door is one way, but maybe it's not. And so I think those are all things everyone's kind of struggling with.
Yeah, and I think you brought up a good point that she did it knowingly. So Mary sacrificed herself for the good of the Winchesters. Crowley sacrificed himself for the good of the Winchesters. Did anybody else die in the finale?
Not that I'm
maybe
aware of.
Did not sacrifice themselves for somebody else's good?
Not that I'm aware of. I'm willing to read recaps, Twitter, if you want to let me know. But, no, I mean, a big part of the final episode was you had all these people, and really a lot of part of the season, you had a lot of people who came to, and it was really about how Sam and Dean impacts each other, but also other people. So you saw how they impacted other hunters. You saw how they impacted, Crowley and Rowena and Castiel. And so a lot of what ended up being our last 2 episodes was a lot of people, Jody Mills, a lot of people stepping up and essentially, helping the Winchesters in the way the Winchesters helped so many people. And that was really important to us, is to build a sense of community, and then because it's supernatural, you tear it all down. But, over the course of the season, that was really what it was about.
And then speaking of this apocalyptical?
I
Apocalyptical?
think that's a piece of exercise equipment.
I spent 20 minutes on the apocalyptical this morning. Speaking of this apocalyptical world, what happened was, so we saw Bobby, who,
Yeah.
and what this other world seems to do is it's another alternate reality. So it's
Right.
Bobby, but it's Bobby living a different life. He doesn't know the boys.
Right.
So is this world, could that open up for other characters to reappear in the same way?
Did you have anybody specific?
I mean, there's not like.
This sounds more like a pitch than a question.
Well, I'm just curious. Does God like? Where does God? Am I coming back, Bob?
You are God of the universe, but it's a really big universe. It's possible. It depends how you do here today.
Oh, crap.
Gabriel? Yeah, I don't think so.
Come on!
We'll do our own spin-off, Rich.
Fine, Baba.